sort of our wheelhouse of tornadic activity, if you will. These lines of severe thunderstorms that come through, and then within those lines there can be kinks, and in those kinks is where we often find these little spin-up tornadoes that can do damage, but aren't on the ground, typically are not on the ground too long, and kind of touch down, and then they go back up. And then sometimes they can touch down, do some damage, and then they'll lift, and then miles down the road they once again touch down. So you want to keep an eye on the line as it pushes in, because of course we could have multiple touchdowns within one line segment with these types of setups. So again, the severe thunderstorm warnings are just lining now southern Kentucky into our northwestern counties. That do include now portions of Tennessee. The one tornado warning continues though, and that goes until 9:45. So we still have another 30 minutes with this one. But now KD's getting quite a bit of rain. I wonder if we still have that live shot up in KD's, because I bet it is just covered in rain and probably some pretty good lightning coming in as well. These storms have been electric today, and just in this view here, we have 475 strikes of lightning. So that is a lot coming into Trigg County now, moving well into Trigg County. Lots of lightning. We will be looking at winds in excess of 70 miles per hour with these storms as they move in. And again, that tornado warning for Trigg County. That's the only active tornado warning that we have at this time. I'm going to go back and turn the lightning off. But a lot of these too are showing some bowing segments near Stewart County and southern Trigg County even. So we'll put a little line here. So anything that starts to bow out like this will need to be watched for higher wind gusts, winds 65, 70 miles per hour. But near Canton, near Highway 68 and Blue Spring, these are all locations that most likely have the best area where we could be looking at some rotation here. Cumberland Shores to Maple Grove, and zooming in a little bit more, Donaldson, near Old Dover Road, Maple Grove, all in Trigg County. So these are all places included in that tornado warning. Looks like they've trimmed back the warning even, so that's good to see. But still enough that they're going to let that warning continue here. And I'd say there is still some rotation there. So right around Maple Grove, Old Dover Road, Caledonia, not included in the warning, but it is in that path, the same area that we're looking at, that rotation. So the rotation right now near Maple Grove. So here's KD's. Let's go to our live look in KD's now. Lots of rain, lots of lightning. Yeah. So our producer saying that she's seeing lightning. Yep, there it is. There he goes. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. This storm is, this storm is pretty, it's electric. And she notes too that we're seeing some sideways, a little bit almost sideways rain. Winds again are no joke for tonight. 60, 70 mile per hour winds will be possible. So this is a busy looking shot coming in from Cadiz, Kentucky, as the tornado warned cell moves through Cadiz. Now Cadiz is on the northern edge, the extreme northern edge of this tornado warning. I would say the better rotation is going to be just south of Cadiz, near Maple Grove, south of Highway 68, near Old Dover Road, near South Road, and we're getting on the edge of that warning here. Even still, if we don't have an actual tornado, there is some really high winds moving through Donaldson and near Donnie Road and South Road. So best area of rotation is going to be right here near Maple Grove. Again, you're taking a live look from Cadiz, Kentucky, which is just on the northern edge of the tornado warning. But lots of lightning, lots of rain. You can actually see the rain there just kind of whipping across the parking lot of the gas station. And boy, that's pretty intense. So that is what is headed our way for Middle Tennessee over the next 3, 4, 5 hours. For a lot of us here, we've got a lot of energy that's been unused, untapped today. We didn't have any activity, didn't expect very much activity until now, but we've just we're kind of been put in a pressure cooker, if you will. So we've got all this energy, and now we've got these storms coming in that will help trigger these thunderstorms and continue to maintain strength, I think, as we go through the evening hours. Sometimes we can say that the warning is going to, or the line will weaken as it comes through. Doesn't look like that's really going to be the case for tonight. There's lots of energy out there for these storms to feed off of as they work their way through the area. So, excuse me, basically all of Middle Tennessee within the line, and then southern Kentucky, all of our counties here close to that line now have a severe thunderstorm warning attached to it, where the winds again are in excess of 60 to 70 miles per hour. Tornado warning does continue here until 9:45, so we'll stick with that as well as it marches east. We're waiting to see if they decide to reissue that warning into portions of Christian County. So I don't, heads up for those in Hopkinsville. Okay, so this is still in downtown Cadiz, just another angle, but definitely a gnarly storm here coming through with those winds whipping and heavy rainfall, lots of lightning. Again, the best area of tornadic activity is going to be just south of Cadiz, but there's a lot of wind here coming in off of this radar site. I'm going to put a measurement tool on here. Yeesh. I mean, these are showing anywhere between 80 to 90 miles per hour. Now, that's a little higher up in the air. It's not right at the surface, but we bring that down to the surface. These could easily be 70 mile per hour gusts, I think, from what the radar is estimating coming in through Trigg County. And that's definitely quite an active shot there in Cadiz, Kentucky. Brett, anything more coming in from the Weather Service about this?
No, I've been looking just over all the chat rooms trying to see if I see any more damage reports or any tornado confirmation reports. Not seeing any of that right now. We also just now had a new radar scan come in, so we can take a look at that real quick too. Current time 9:20 right now. This tornado warning going to go until 9:45, and again, this is the most recent radar scan. It just came in. The best area of rotation earlier was right there around Maple Grove, but with this new radar scan and these storms moving at 60 miles an hour, looks like the best area of rotation now is going to be a little bit to the east of Maple Grove. So we're going to zoom in right here. If you're around South Road, this is right where the best rotation looks to be. So right around South Road here in Trigg County, you need to be in your safe place. And then we're actually, you know what, we'll just keep on zooming in. So Old Dover Road, South Road, Pleasant Hill, Church Road, Maggie Road, South Road, and Donnie Road. Any of these areas going to be to the east of Maple Grove and to the east of Donaldson in Trigg County. You need to be in your safe place right now. And I will say that the National Weather Service office did also go ahead and I think they extended that warning, if I'm not mistaken, that just came out.
Yes.
Because that was not including
Looks like
Christian
they extended
County.
The tornado warning.
They did, and
yeah.
It's still going to go until 9:45, though, it looks like. But they did extend that tornado warning, so now still this best area of rotation. They put it right there, too, where we were just talking, right here around Smith Road. So NWS Paducah also thinking right here around South Road, where that best area of rotation is, right here where South Road and Maggie Road are. This is again in Trigg County, and then they extended this out to the east. So we're going to try to get you a track on here. Hopefully these town names pop up for me when I put this track on it. But these storms are moving still about 60 miles an hour. We'll pull that at about 60 miles an hour. Beverly, 13 minutes away from you. Pembroke, 23 minutes away from you. Caledonia, any of these other areas in between. Caledonia, a little bit closer to you, may even go just south. But if you're in any of these spots, you need to be in your safe place. Again, that is the lowest floor of whatever building you're in, the most interior room. And stay away from any windows. You don't need to be near any windows with anything like this, because that glass could easily shatter. So just play it safe, get to the lowest floor. If you have an interior basement, or an interior bathroom or closet, that's going to be a good bet for you to stay safe during this storm. Still don't have any confirmation that there's a tornado actually on the ground right now, but you got to treat these like they are. Radar is showing enough rotation that the National Weather Service office up there in Paducah went ahead and issued that tornado warning on this storm. Even if you're not included in the tornado warning, though, all these areas around this are going to have really strong winds that could be going 60 to 70 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour, all going to be possible as this main line now continues to drop south across parts of southern Kentucky and then eventually crossing over Middle Tennessee before it finally exits our viewing area and pushes down further south into Alabama and Georgia, spots like that, around, we'll say 3 a.m. or so for right now. So we still have several more hours left on this severe weather threat. Also, I think I'm hearing too, Scott, Megan, you have a little bit more information coming in over there at the desk.
You bet. We've been monitoring the team website and others, and there are now 28 different shelters that are open up across the state. You know, a few hours ago when we were talking about the storm primarily up in Kentucky, it started out over in Henry County. Well, the map shows that as the storm has moved east, so has the movement to open up shelters.
And the latest one that just opened, you said, was Lebanon? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we are monitoring that. Go to our website. We have it up here on the screen. You see the icons across the map, and we have a running list on the left-hand screen there.
We've got a link on it under Fox Links if you want to keep up with that throughout the night.
If that's easier, but if you're close to the TV and just referencing, I don't know if you can see this, on the left hand of your screen, we also have them labeled there. But again, easiest place to go to fox17.com.
And we want you to know where your safe place is. You heard Brett saying just a moment ago, if you live in these areas, you need to get to your safe place. Well, if a warning is in place like this near you, go to the lowest level of your house. If you've got a basement, that's the best place to go. If not, an interior room, and I'm talking someplace that's away from windows, because you don't want a storm or the hail to bust glass and then the wind blow it all over, put you and your family at risk. Maybe that's a bathroom on the ground floor level. Maybe it's the closet you've got under the steps. Where is it at your all's place?
Downstairs interior bathroom.
Ooh, I love that you knew that right off the top of your head.
Unfortunately, I've had to use it a few times.
Yeah, that's true.
This year.
Yeah.
And you need to know that, and you need to have that conversation with your children if they happen to be at home. I know a couple of weeks back we had another one of these, and my son called me, and we were talking. I was sitting right here on the set, and I said, go to the closet underneath the stairs right now and get the dog.
Yeah, you guys have had to use it too this year,
yes,
right?
Yes, Katie called me one time on vacation to tell me you don't need to go. It's coming on you.
I take care of my people.
Appreciate you.
You can understand how jarring this must be for all the people that move here for the first time, and this is really the first time they've gone through severe weather like this, tornado warnings.
Yes, this is normal, unfortunately.
Yeah, very much unfortunate. Yeah, and that's a good point Megan brings up, the fact that we have so many people that are new to the area that may not be used to this kind of weather. And unfortunately, this is just sort of a way of life in our spring season. Really, unfortunately, all times of year we can get severe weather. But this spring season has been overactive for us, but is something that we are not, we're definitely no stranger to. So we're still watching the cell here that's moving through Christian County now. This is the tornado warning that was extended out from the one in Trigg County. So I would say that for much of Trigg County now, that tornado threat is passing you, with the exception of the very eastern portion of the county near PD and Roaring Spring. So still looking at that area of rotation right about there near Binns Mill, headed towards Herndon, Beverly, Churchill, and I-24 here in Christian County. That's going to be where we have the potential for rotation. What I was looking at, though, is our velocity product. This tells us severe wind. And now the hole that you see here to the right, I'm actually covering it up. This is the radar site up at Hopkinsville. And so this is reading the storms very close by, meaning that we're getting some good samples near the surface of the storm. So we can measure, estimate, get some wind estimates, if you will, within the storm here. And radar is estimating 93 mile per hour winds. That's just above the surface. But at the surface, it's possible, I think, that we could easily be seeing winds 70 miles per hour, perhaps 75 miles per hour with this line. See any of these areas that have these real light kind of green, lime green coloring, those are going to be really intense areas of wind. So once again, even if we don't have a tornado in progress, this should be taken seriously like a tornado warning. It's one of those nights where these are heightened severe thunderstorm warnings, and you should take action immediately, even with this line coming through. So we'll zoom back out just to give you perspective of where the line is. The whole line is severe warned on. So even though we may not have tornado warnings across the entire area, these should be treated as such for tonight, with winds expected to be 70 miles an hour plus in some spots that could easily do damage, just like a low-end tornado could. So we want to make sure that everyone takes that seriously as it pushes through. I would still anticipate that line to be near Middle Tennessee, or I should say Nashville here, closer to about 11 o'clock. We'll zoom out a little bit just because this caught my eye, the fact that they're already taking counties out of the watch back into western Kentucky and southern Illinois. So once this line passes, you are done for the night and you can sleep soundly. I would say that our latest threat for thunderstorms tonight should be after about 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. This timeline holds for the most part. I'd say we're on the later half of time here. So closer to that 11 to 12 a.m. time frame for Nashville. And we're going to be closer to 1 to 3 o'clock time frame for those east toward the Cumberland Plateau for the main line as it works its way into the area here. So highest threat, I think, for some of these straight line winds that could be in excess of 70 to 75 miles per hour is going to be highlighted here in pink. If you're not highlighted in pink, it doesn't mean that you are not going to have the potential for high wind. You most definitely will. But I think we have a slightly higher chance of seeing those 70 to 75 mile per hour wind gusts in this pink category. So it does include Clarksville, Gallatin, Nashville, Metro Nashville as well. So along with that, we'll be watching our power outage map for much of the night. And of course, at the time with the line just arriving, we're not seeing, fortunately, not seeing too much power outage issues, but I do expect numbers to go up as we go through the evening hours. So let's reset again. We're back to our radar. Time now is just about 9:30. We have the tornado warning that continues for another 15 minutes as it approaches Hopkinsville. So let's zoom in here and take a look. The tornado warning itself is just south of downtown Hopkinsville. Does not include Hopkinsville, but the leading edge of that line is pushing in now. And as I mentioned again, rotation detection, when you see this and you see how it's just one big line, this is indicating high wind, not so much areas of rotation, but this is a concentration of high wind. And when it is in one long line like that, we are looking at a segment of storms producing consistent wind gusts over 60 to 70 miles per hour. Really intense winds here coming through. Brett, have you heard anything from Paducah about any reports?
No,
or?
it's still quiet over there in the Paducah chat. I'm not seeing any sort of storm reports really coming in from Paducah. There are some reports coming in, but those are going to be just outside of our viewing area.
Sure.
Nothing with this Trigg County storm.
I'll be interested to see what comes out, because those are some pretty high winds.
Those are. I'm seeing one measured 51 mile an hour gust from a Mesonet site. That's in Trigg County. But yeah, I'm totally on board with you. I think those have to be producing some stronger winds than just 51 miles an hour.
So we'll keep an eye on that. And you can see too that we're getting some of the more intense winds up here in Christian County near Hopkinsville, so just south of there. So the tornado warning continues, but once again here, I think I'm mostly concerned with some of these gusts of wind that will be capable of 70 mile per hour gusts. This is nearing Highway 169 as you drive into Hopkinsville and I-24. So the 169-24 interchange and right on the edge of that there. I'd say if we were looking at a tornado, or what prompted the warning, is most likely right around Herndon. So there is a little notch there, but a lot of these have little notches. You can see even just a tiny one there near 169. We're going to see a lot of that tonight, and it may prompt a few warnings. But as we get deeper into the night, our tornado threat is going to continue to slowly decrease. Our wind threat is going to maintain constant, if not increase a little bit. So we're kind of in that time frame where we're starting to shift from one type of threat to another type of threat, where large baseball size hail was more likely in these storms through the afternoon, and the potential for a few long track tornadoes. Now these threats are shifting more into a high wind threat. Still some large hail possible, probably not as big, not as large as baseballs, but maybe quarter to golf ball size hail. Some heavy rain, and a few spin up tornadoes can't be ruled out either. But the main concern here as we move into the evening hours is going to be this high wind moving through all of the area. So let's walk you through some of these warnings that we have. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for Logan County until 10 o'clock. This is going to be on the northeastern side of the county, with one segment of the storm here through Logan and Todd County not warned on, so that's good. And then, of course, we have the tornado warning just south of Hopkinsville in Christian County, and that's the one that we continue to track. There's a new scan that just came in, and you see how much ground we made up. We were on the other side of 24 I-169, and it's already over it. So that, again, is just how fast these storms are moving for tonight, 50, 60 miles per hour. Severe thunderstorm warnings here also include Montgomery County now into Stewart County. And this is all ahead of this line where winds will be possible up to 70 miles per hour. We have severe thunderstorm warnings that continue even for Trigg County until 10 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm warning for Henry County until 9:45. So that's the rundown of all of our warnings that we have at the moment, with the one tornado warning that'll continue here for another about 10 minutes. It looks like they continue to trim to that warning just a little bit. We're nearing the radar site, so we'll have to, shortly we'll have to switch over to the Nashville site as the rain and thunderstorms move over the radar. We can sometimes get some interruptions from radar and not some good scans, so we'll have to switch. But that's where we are right now. Tornado warning then continues here for those that are in Christian County. So that is our one tornado warning, but continues to be a big wind event for us across a lot of the viewing area here.
Really just strong winds too is what I'm still seeing with this. And I know you were just breaking down the severe thunderstorm warnings that we have up right now, but this is going to be the main concern for us as we travel through the rest of the night. The tornado threat is going to drop a little bit lower, still can't rule it out, but then damaging winds are really going to be the main threat. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible, maybe even just slightly higher than that. Seeing some very, very strong winds with that storm that's moving through Christian County right now. That is that same storm that is associated with that tornado warning. That tornado warning is just south of Hopkinsville, and it does include Beverly. So this is going to be right here around 169, Highway 41 right here. Very strong winds, heavy rainfall with that too, and they put that destructive, it looks like, on it right there. So let's see, that was, I'm sure, issued for wind, but I'll pop this up and see exactly what it was issued for. And that was 90-mile-an-hour winds possible with that, according to radar. That is... Wow.
Are you seeing that in the regular chat, or is that in the data feed?
This is on the radar scope tornado, or the severe thunderstorm warning info on radar scope. Oh, okay. So yeah, 90-mile-an-hour winds possible with that storm right there, according to radar. So that is wild. That is going to be for parts of, let's see, 10-15. So for parts of Trigg County or Christian County, and also over into Todd County, and basically the southern and eastern half of Christian County included in that destructive severe thunderstorm warning. Could be seeing 90-mile-an-hour straight line winds. So even if the wind isn't spinning, and a lot of times with these systems we'll say this, but even if the wind isn't spinning, isn't rotating, and it's not a tornado, these straight line wind events can cause just as much damage as some tornadoes. If you remember back April 1st, early April, late March, early April, we had some of these downburst events that just really caused some damage. It wasn't tornadoes, but it was the straight line winds that caused all the damage. And when you get 90-mile-an-hour winds gusting like that, that can definitely do some damage. And that's why they've gone ahead and put that destructive tag on that severe thunderstorm warning, again, for basically the southern and eastern portions of Christian County, and then much of Todd County now going to be included in that destructive severe thunderstorm warning. That tornado warning is set to expire at 9:45, so that doesn't have much longer on it. But these winds are just going to keep on cranking, and even as this line drops down further south into Middle Tennessee, these winds are just really going to stay strong too. So 60, 70, 75 miles an hour, definitely not out of the question. But then we could get some storms just like this one right here that try to produce 90-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So that's something that we're going to be monitoring for the next several hours. That tornado watch for most of Middle Tennessee going to go until 3 a.m. right here. So Scott, Megan, I think you have a few more tips over there at the desk.
You bet. Going to be a long night, and we've been talking about the things that are out in terms of warnings and the people that are in the path. The time to start thinking about what you should do with a nighttime event is now, not when it's on top of you. We've got some tips we want to share from the National Weather Service, along with our Fox 17 Code Red weather team. Charge your devices now while you've got power, just in case it goes out. Have a safety plan in place, before you go to sleep, and that sort of thing.
Certainly. And if you do need to use a shelter, obviously be prepared, have a plan in place there. We've got a running list of those that are active and open right now on fox17.com. You can also download the Fox 17 weather app because we're streaming live in the event of severe weather, and it's especially helpful if you lose power. When you head to bed tonight, make sure that your phone is not on silent. Take off that do not disturb setting. Make sure the volume is up and keep a flashlight or batteries nearby.
And this is a QR code that you can scan now with your smartphone. And it'll take you to our Chime In page. So if you do have weather events, video, still pictures that you can safely get after the storms move through or as it's going through, if you can get some video safely that way, you can share it with us and help us tell the weather story. And quite frankly, we couldn't do it without you.
Certainly. So you can scan the QR code right there on your screen. You can also find it by fox17.com on the Chime In section.
All right, thanks so much, guys. And I want to come back and stress the importance of this severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued. I cannot remember the last time I saw a severe thunderstorm warning with 90-mile-per-hour winds possible. We were just measuring some of these gusts on the radar site, and they were not far off from that. We were seeing 80, even 90-mile-per-hour winds. These are some of the communities that are going to be impacted. This is a take shelter type of thunderstorm. So please treat this as if it is a tornado warning. You need to get in the lowest level of your home and away from windows. This is as destructive as an EF1 tornado. This is the potential for hurricane force winds. So just to stress the importance of making sure that you are taking this seriously as it moves in through southern Kentucky. This is again for Christian, Eastern Christian, and Todd County. And I'm going to read you what the Weather Service is posting here. Hazard is 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts and then nickel-size hail. So 90-mile-per-hour winds. You are in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris can be deadly to those caught without shelter. Many mobile homes could be heavily damaged or destroyed. So making sure that you're taking your tornado precautions right now. And if you're ahead of this line here, for those in even Logan County and eastern portions of Todd County, I would be watching this very closely. And if you're not, if you don't feel like you're in a safe spot, you have very little time to get to a safe spot with this destructive thunderstorm coming in. With winds in excess of 90 miles per hour, that is rare. We don't see that too often. So it's an extremely dangerous situation, and we need to make sure that you are taking those tornado precautions for a destructive thunderstorm that is moving through southern Kentucky right now. And again, these are going to be racing through southern Kentucky and into middle Tennessee. So that's what we have at the moment. It does look like the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. They let it go early. I'm not seeing things, am I right? Brett, yeah, it looks like they expired it.
I think I'm still seeing it, but it just blends in so well with the
red. Oh yeah, there it
is.
It's kind of, I'm not as worried about a tornado warning right now as I am about this destructive wind warning. So once again, 90-mile-per-hour winds possible here within the line. Let's go back, and it's starting to get close to the radar site, so we're not going to get as great measurements, but near Pembroke, 77 miles per hour, easy with some of these gusts that are coming in. Near Oak Grove, closer to 60, Hopkinsville, right around 47 to 50 miles per hour. So right along the leading edge is going to be where we get some of those highest gusts that come in. And then along with that, we'll continue to see gusty winds behind that even. In fact, near Katie's, it still says 59 to 60 mile per hour winds. That's going to be a little higher up since we're a little farther away from the radar site. So again, the radar beam is going to scan up like this in the sky, like when you take off in an airplane. So as we get farther away from the radar beam, we're going higher up into the sky and we're scanning winds that are higher up, not at the surface. So we like to get that lowest level as possible to get a really good idea of what's happening here at the surface. But those winds that we were measuring moments ago were pretty good scan, pretty good sampling of what we were looking at, which is why Weather Service went ahead with that destructive tag. Moving through Christian and Todd counties. So we will continue to effort any information or any reports of damage in the area. For now, though, hopefully folks are hunkering down. In fact, we'll go back there because you can see This is just outside of our viewing area, but you can see that power outages are starting to pile up in Kentucky. And this is going to give you a percentage. So this is current power outage by county, and this is the percent of county without power. So just outside of the viewing area there, we're looking at over 50% of the county without power. Trigg County, we're up to 20% already without power. And in Christian County, still less than 10%, which is good. But we'll likely see that number rise here with those storms having moved through. So starting to see those wind power outages driven by the wind go up a little bit. So all of this still severe warned on. We'll reset again. The tornado warning goes for another few minutes. But the severe line continues to push through a lot of starting to push into Middle Tennessee, a lot of southern Kentucky. And at this point, we don't really have any reason to believe why this line would weaken as it moves into Middle Tennessee here. We expect it to hold together. So that's going to be the story for us as we head through the next couple of hours. Again, for those, once the line passes through, folks in Katie's, you're in the clear for tonight. It's still breezy. It is still a little loud with some noisy storms that are nearby, but they are moving away from you. Once this big line here of thunderstorms passes you, you will be able to head to bed and not be worried about anything for tonight. But this is quite the line that is starting to evolve here across.
Katie, I'm also seeing maybe 70-mile-an-hour winds in Henry County.
In Henry County, okay.
That severe warning.
Yep. So we head down to Henry County here, and this severe thunderstorm warning will go until 10:15. Yeah, 70-mile-an-hour winds I think are going to be pretty standard with anything for tonight. But I can't recall, Brett, the last time I ever heard a 90-mile-per-hour.
I've been here for 3 years now, and I don't think it's happened unless there was that one back in, I think, 2023, but that was just one event that may have done it.
Yep. So this line, again, probably moving at about 50 to 60 miles per hour, will only take a couple hours before it moves through the sections of Middle Tennessee, basically. So our northeast or northwestern section, and then into more of the metro area, and then to the south and east of the metro area here. The watch goes until 3 o'clock in the morning, and some of the models are trying to slow down a little bit as far as how long it would be before these storms are done. But I would say this is still pretty much probably on par for timing right now. And that line working its way towards Nashville, probably closer to about 11 o'clock that we're looking at, 11 to midnight. So another hour and a half, and it'll be through here. We're still under that moderate risk for severe weather, and that is mainly wind driven for today here. But still have the potential for a tornado. That is our tornado threat. This was more for the afternoon. And as we head again deeper into the evening hours, I really think wind is going to be our big concern for tonight, which again, with the potential for 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts, that's as high as an EF1 tornado. So they can do quite a bit of damage, even with just straight line wind damage. So we want to make sure that we are at least giving it the respect it deserves. This is a live look from Gallatin, and things are looking fairly breezy there ahead of the line. Gallatin probably still, another hour maybe before it reaches Gallatin. And let's see if our Springfield camera's up. Springfield camera is up right now. Might be frozen. I don't know, we'd have to wait and see if that light turns green there. I don't see the trees moving, which leads, it is live, there it is, yeah. So things are still pretty quiet across a lot of Middle Tennessee, but eventually we will look at these thunderstorms moving through downtown area here, and eventually too, I'd say within the hour, we'll start to see lightning off in the distance. This is our South Nashville camera near 440, and it's looking northward. So we can get a great view of thunderstorms coming in from the north and west. Okay, well, let's take a look at that. Our producer's saying that the Katie's camera is now, Katie's camera is looking much better now. And again, Katie's right about there. So we're behind that main line. I just mentioned that once the main line comes through, yeah, much better. Still seeing some lightning off in the distance and definitely damp. You can see some raindrops on the camera. But once that main line is through, we're done. So for folks in Katie's, we are, oh wow, look at that. Woo! Okay, that was really kind of cool. That's just some lightning off in the distance there. We'll continue to see that. So you'll still want to be indoors, of course, with the lightning that'll be around, because we could easily see that even behind the main line. But we are looking at things to calm down considerably once that first line passes through. And that's it. That's really our big line for tonight as it works its way across the area here. So again, still a lot of lightning behind that main line there. We just saw from Katie's, and you can see some of those strikes that continue. And even every now and then within our lightning strikes, you'll see a yellow bolt. I don't see any at the moment to show you, but those yellow bolts are actually positive lightning strikes. And those come from the top of the cloud. So all of these white strikes are negative strikes, and they tend to come from the base of clouds. Those positive lightning strikes come from the top of the clouds. And when we get a positive strike of lightning hitting the ground, it can be very loud and then just reverberate. So yeah, those positive strikes more powerful, and they often are much louder, and they kind of just, we can just kind of hear it waver for a little bit of time. So that's what we are looking at still. We are still tracking this big line of severe weather moving through Middle Tennessee, getting ready to move through Middle Tennessee. The tornado watch remains in effect until 3 o'clock in the morning, includes all of us. Now, most of us in that watch until about 3 a.m. We're going to continue to monitor things here. Keep in mind, again, some of these winds capable of producing gusts up to 90 miles per hour. At least that was with this destructive tag that we have here for Todd and Christian County. That'll go until 10:15. We'll continue to monitor since we have no tornado warnings at the moment, but please take these severe thunderstorm warnings seriously. We will be back pretty soon after the conclusion of the football game, the UFL football game, and we'll continue to track these storms live as they work their way through Middle Tennessee. For now, we'll send you back to the football game.